Special announcements that we have, a couple of them are surprises, but number one, as I was alluding to, our Jacket Century program, we've revitalized it. It's helped stay alive to a great help with Lacey. And what that is just some of our fundraising opportunities that we have for each specific sports program. We're pushing in a direction for monthly givers. We've had a lot of them come on board, and we're referring in our department as them as believers in our program and what we're doing. And specifically what Jacket Century has helped with this year is our senior awards, which are extremely similar to the awards that we're handing out tonight. Some of our facilities upgrades and upkeeps, and then banquets and events such as this. And so with your support, many of you are in the room, I just want to thank you, and I really appreciate it. This next award, we actually had to get permission from Amy Carlton, our conference commissioner for the American Southwest Conference, to make this announcement because it has not yet been released and it has not yet been public. So she did ask us, do not put out any news releases or social media or anything like that, but Coach Kilsmeyer, if you could stand up, please. You will be inducted into the 2018 American Southwest Conference Hall of Honor this year. We just wanted to be able to publicly tell you and be the first ones to tell you, because we know once you get rock and rolling at Cleveland State, it'll probably be near impossible to ever get you back down here for the awards. But
unless I miss a flight.
Yeah, there you go. So on this table back here with Coach Douglas, that's a replica of the award that you get. That's the award when your team got inducted into the ASC Hall of Honor, the same award that Coach Kilsmeyer will be getting. So congratulations. The second thing we'd like to recognize, and I know she's not going to be happy about this, but is Hope Ports. With some of the action that she took in December of 2016, she was named South Region Trooper of the Year. And so if we could just congratulate her. Hope, we also wanted to let you know that we as an athletic department have nominated you for the NCAA Medal of Valor Award. And so we will see how that turns out. So at this time, we'll get moving in the presentation portion. Abram Cho will present the 2018 HPU Sports Team of the Year Award.
It's all but fitting on this inaugural fall alumni sports banquet that we honor a team that is celebrating its 10th anniversary of its championship. And we're grateful that the number of ladies have been able to return for this event. Let me read some bio on that year and that season. Named the Perfect Swarm by Derek Stuckley of the Brownwood Bulletin, who's here today. The 2007-8 HPU women's basketball team went 33-0 and won the 2008 NCAA Division III Women's Basketball National Championship. The championship was the first team championship for Howard Payne since moving to the NCAA from the NAIA in the mid-90s. It was also the first NCAA Division III National Championship in the 12-year history of the American Southwest Conference. That season, the women's team was the only collegiate basketball team, men's or women's at any level, to finish that season undefeated, and the 5th undefeated women's basketball team in the 27-year history of the NCAA Division III tournament. Along the way, the team won their 2nd consecutive American Southwest Conference title and the 3rd in 4 years. The Lady Jackets extended their Brownwood Coliseum home win streak to 36 games, and the win streak over American Southwest Conference opponents to 34 games. With only 4 of the 33 games were decided by 10 or fewer points. The team was led the NCAA women in scoring margin at 27.8 points per game. That means they won, on average, their games by 27.8 points or more per game. They gained the first #1 national ranking in women's basketball in school history. The team had numerous individual honors. The NCAA National Division III Player of the Year, Mia Daniels. The NCAA National Division III Coach of the Year, Chris Kilsmeyer. 2 NCAA Division III All-Americans, Mia Daniels and Stacy Blaylock. And 1 All-Region player, Kim Hoffman. Other postseason individual honors and numerous American Southwest Conference individual awards. At this time, we'd like to invite up Chris Kilsmeyer, coach of that team. He'd like to say some words regarding the program in that season.
I'm always short on words, right, Stuckley? So keep it under an hour. First off, I'd like to thank Hunter Sims for organizing this event and allowing this moment to take place. 10 years is pretty remarkable, and something like this needed to be done. So I thank you very much, and anybody else that had their hands in it as well. But as I was unpacking my office to leave Wayne State, I'm in the transition of moving to a new job right now. I found this, and so this was wrote in the spring of 2008. I'm not sure if it ended in the paper or where exactly, or what exactly for. Maybe it was a speech I gave back then, but I'm using it right now. How many times in one's life can you say that you are the best and perfect? The 2007, 2008 Howard Payne Lady Jackets were just that. A perfect record and the best, a distinction that will forever be associated with each member of the program. From the first day in the fall of 2007, when we put this team together, they were all about doing what is right and doing it for each other. Each member knew exactly what was expected of them and did it to the best of their ability every day. They cared for each other, they loved each other, and truly wanted what was best for the program. The true definition of a team was the 2007-08 Lady Jackets. This team wanted to win every time they took the floor and had a great understanding of what it would take, both physically and mentally, to get it done. I have never coached a team or been associated with a group of ladies that was as focused as this one. Their preparation and approach to every game was that it was the most important game of the year, no matter who we were playing. They were relaxed, confident, and knew we could beat anyone because of their preparation prior to each game. As a young coach, I can only hope I experience what this team did for me, our program, and our university again in the future. How do I top this year? Is it even possible? Every day was a true pleasure and blessing to coach this team. I will remember coaching this team and each experience they brought me for the rest of my life. And still to this day, those words are what this team really meant to me and was defined by me, or by them. You know, when you talk about all the honors and stuff that I received that year, and getting placed in the Hall of Fame and all these things and stuff, it's all about the players. The players did it all. You know, I always say a coach gets way too much praise and way too much criticism. And, you know, coaches can't do anything without great players. And that's what this team was. But, you know, those words right there were words that I wrote 10 years ago. And now that it's 10 years later, I still have that feeling. What separated this team from other great teams I have coached was their chemistry and their ability to handle the moment. They really, truly cared for each other and wanted what was best for each other. And when I say that, I mean every single player. You know, as coaches, you're just looking for the majority of them. Hopefully you can get a lot of them. But if you get every single one of them that is on the same page and really, truly fighting for what's best for each other, not what's best for themselves, that's a special thing, and something that, again, as a coach, you don't control those things. I mean, every coach in here knows that. I just kind of define it as the it factor. And I said a lot down the stretch of that year that if you got it, you got it. And this group's got it. And it was the chemistry and just the ability to just be ready to play and do whatever they needed to do for each other. They handled every moment, no matter what it was, better than any team I've ever coached. Nothing ever bothered this group. Every person associated with our program that year, no matter who it was, wanted to do the very best they could every day and did. They knew something special was happening, but never focused on that. They only focused on doing their very best, and that's what they did, was their very best. And when I say every single person, it was from the top down. Every player, manager, trainer, just all the support staff and some other people that I'll talk about. But it was truly just incredible to see every single person associated trying to do their very best, no matter what it was. Driving down here for the first time 19 years ago, and that's what it was. You know, I drove down here on the same path as what I came down here 19 years ago when I first interviewed here. Learned how to drive in Texas, and I got reminded about it today. And when I was driving the first time down here, you know, this guy's behind me just honking. It's like going nuts. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like, go around me. You know, up north, you just go in the other lane and you go around. You know, up here, you got to drive on the shoulder and get out of their way, I guess. But today I experienced that maybe Texas driving has changed a little bit in the last 10 years. This guy gets over on the shoulder, but he's only halfway over. I'm coming at him, and so he's driving in, you know, halfway into my lane and this lane. So now not only do you have to get out of the way from the person behind you, but you got to get out of the way from the person that's coming at you. It's like, this is crazy. So that's just one of the stories that I remember about it. But, you know, again, driving down here for the first time 19 years ago, there was no way to know how that drive was going to change my life. I would like to thank Mike Jones for giving me this opportunity. Unfortunately, he can't be here. You know, he's doing the family things. That's Mike. But he took a chance on me 19 years ago and forever changed my life. And it's been a pretty cool journey since then. But now I'd just like to thank a few people. I hope that I don't forget somebody. I'm sure I will. You know, I always get nervous when you do stuff like this because you know you're going to forget someone. But after that, I'll tell a few stories about a few things, and I'll be done, Derek. So it'll be less than an hour. But first, thank you. I'd like to thank Derek, you know, just for all the hard work and all the great stories and just the great words, the perfect swarm. You know, how could you describe a team better than that? And it was forever that way. Picture that he took, you know, he's always said he's want royalties on that thing. He'd be a millionaire now. The picture that he took, they're on the front of that cover, but that was pretty good. But, you know, all our late night meals at Skillets, just, we got him to get on the plane. You know, he's flown one time in his life, and that was when he went to the national championship. So he's never flown since then. So I don't know what that plane did to him. It's a little bit scary. The best I've ever worked with. The best print guy I've ever worked with in my career. Miss Riker, just all the pep talks in the Miss Riker Lounge. Has that been named that yet? We didn't get that done, right? I think I was here last fall when we were saying that was getting done. But it really, truly is that. I don't know how many times I sat in there as a young coach needing a pep talk or two, or kicking the butt, or maybe a calm down or something. Probably a lot of calm downs. Dallas, just your pregame talks. I'll never forget the boxing stories and just all the things that you talked about and did. Just the radio calls, again, the best I've ever worked with. I wish you could come up north. You know, we'll let you come to Cleveland. We'll take you. Abram, just the long hours and the tremendous promotion of our program and just everything that you got to do as an SID. How many of those jobs suck? But he did it with a smile on his face, and it was just great. But thanks to all the players now, and I'll try to give a quick little story from each one here. These are just things that kind of stick out in my head from that year. Coach Hat, you know, one big story that I remember about her is when we were putting the game plan together the night before the national championship, and we had, I don't know, you know, we were up there, and there was, some of those schools had multiple assistants, and you know, like staffs of like 5 or 6. And there was me and Coach Hat, and then we got, you know, Coach Kelly, and Drummond was in there, and you know, we just had, we made our own staff, but we got that game plan done at like, I don't know, 3 or 4 in the morning, and they sent me to bed so I could get a couple hours of sleep. And the next morning when we were riding down the elevator to breakfast, Coach App reminds me of this story still to this day. I don't remember it, but she said I was in the elevator and I was telling her, "Don't you look tired. Those kids aren't going to see us tired. We're going to show up. We're going to walk out here with tremendous passion. We're going to look like we're alive and everything's great." And I don't think she got any sleep that night. I think she stayed up the entire night, and I think I got like 3 hours of sleep and allowed me to do what we do. But that was a special story that I'll remember. Stacy, one of the things I'll never forget about her is After we won the Elite Eight game, you know, I think I was the last one to leave the Coliseum, and she's walking in the parking lot, and I drive up by her, or walk by her on the way to my car, and she's just crying. I mean, a lot. What's wrong? Like, we won. And those were tears of joy. But she was really experiencing the fact she was never going to play in the Coliseum again. And a kid that has that much passion and that much drive is a big part of why we won the national championship. We had a team full of those types of players. And, you know, that type of mindset was just always there from all of our players. But Kim, you know, Kim just always seemed to make the big shot in the big moment every time when we needed it. But sometimes in really big games and big moments, she put too much pressure on herself and not be able to perform up to her abilities. And I think she kind of did that in the Hope game. And she was really frustrated and down about it. And I said, just stop trying, just go play. And she became the MVP of the Final Four. Her best performance was her last performance, and I'll always remember that. And her and DP throwing stuff out of the back of the van, like, you can't litter, you know that? In Dallas, that might be a ticket, but I don't remember exactly what it was, but that's the story. I remember that. Hope's story kind of tied to a concussion. Elite Eight game against Hope, if you were there, it was down the stretch, big moment. She got taken out on a skip pass for her zone and flew into the bench and had a concussion, and a pretty severe concussion. And she went over to the sideline, and boy, this would never happen this day and age anymore, but you know, she's over there in the trash can throwing up, and I asked Terrell if she's okay, and he's kind of like, no, and I said, well, good, she's fine, going in. And she went, and sure enough, she got fouled a little bit later, and so she had to shoot really what became the clinching free throws of that night. And I always remember, you know, she was telling me, like, Coach, it was 3 hoops. I didn't know which one to shoot at. I just decided to shoot at the middle one. She made the free throw that really clinched the game for us, so that was a special moment. But Tiffany, this will be a story that I'll never forget, like all these. But you know, after we won the national championship game, I'm in front of the bus, I stand up and I turn back to him like I always do every moment. I said, scouting report in my room in 10 minutes. Tip stood up and said, who are we going to beat next, Coach? It's just, you know, that type of mindset for kids that just, you know, she wanted to do it. Like, she was so excited. And so everybody's so sad that the season's over, and where do we go from here now? Well, I guess we had to get on a plane. We had to force Derek to get on there because he didn't want to get on there. Makisha, what do you say about Makisha? I mean, just all her jokes and her one-liners. Like, if you ever needed a laugh, if you needed it to be a little bit looser, just call on Makisha to say something or do something. It would take care of itself. And I'll always remember that. She always had a smile on her face like she does now. That big old smile. That was just something I always remember about that team. Sarah, Jockers. I guess I probably should say something about your facial expression, right? Because when I just came over here and talked to her, she gave me the same facial expression that she gave me every time I was chewing her a little bit and getting into her and telling her to get her butt in gear. And that hasn't changed yet to this day. But, you know, Sarah was just always willing to do anything and everything, no matter what it was, on or off the court. And that included singing the national anthem at the men's game. I guess you don't like to remember that. Coach Hatt just said that she had fix her wardrobe malfunction on the way to a game. Sarah stepped up and sewed the button on, got it fixed. But you know, there's numerous stories, and I'm sure we'll share a lot of those tonight. But what a team, and I don't know how they can ever be duplicated ever again. Really, how do you get better than perfect? A couple other things, real quickly. I would like to, you know, thank my brother. I know he's not here, and it's really, anytime I ever bring the national championship up to him, he doesn't want to take any credit for it in any way. And if you don't know the story, when I became the head coach here, I was 24, and I was really scared and nervous about hiring anybody because I didn't know anybody, and I was young and dumb and didn't want to hire somebody that wasn't going to support me and where we were headed. he was 20 at the time, so he was in undergrad, and he came down and visited me that summer when I got it. He went to South Padre, and we were coming back, and he said, well, you know, we're talking about hiring an assistant. He's like, well, why don't you hire me? I'll come down and do it. And I'm like, he's crazy. He's an undergrad. And Dr. Gregory at the time worked it out so we could get him here, and he had as much to do with us winning the national championship as anybody, because he was a recruiting machine. Mia Daniels, I had never seen before she got to campus at Wayne State, or at Howard Payne for the first time. Sorry, a little slip of the pie, but just the amount of hours that people did for recruiting, you know, other coaches that I had, Coach Hatt, Coach Jameson, and just the people that recruited is why this happened, with the support of the administration. You know, I'd say the 9 years that I worked here was the easiest 9 years of dealing with an administration at any time that I've ever had, because they just let me do whatever I wanted. Now, again, I was always doing what I was supposed to and following the line of what I was too dumb to cross. Well, that's not true. But it was just whatever we needed to do, we found a way, and the administration did a great job. But Coach Kelly's input on this team is phenomenal, and he doesn't want anything to do with the credit of it at all. He thinks it has nothing to do with him, but he recruited a lot of those seniors and really was a big part of why it happened. The other thing I would like to say is really to thank every single player that played in the program before that team. You know, I know there's so many of them that wanted that same moment, because we really were chasing a national championship years before it happened. Anybody that knows our program and stuff, that didn't just happen that year. It was a culmination up to that moment. And losing in Iowa the previous year was probably why we won the national championship. Now, I remember Stacy and I sitting in the airport, and both, you know, really upset and probably shedding a couple tears. And I just said, we don't ever have to experience this again. And we never did. And we went out and won every single game the next year. And that was the perfect swarm. And so, but all those players that played previous to that team led to happening what happened. And those players deserve so much credit, and just as much credit as the ones that actually played on the team. Thank you so much for all your support of that team, and thank you so much for your continued support of Howard Payne Athletics. You know, I've talked to Hunter, and hopefully I can do something here soon to help out the department, but it's a special place with special people. You can't leave that out, Derek. You know, I talked about that a lot down the stretch of the year. It's really a magical place here, and we affect young people's lives, and what a great life we have to be able to do that. So, again, thank you so much for everything. What a great night. Thank you.
We could go on and say a lot of things about all the people that we're honoring tonight, but we do have to wrap it up at some point. And because of all this, Howard Payne Sports would like to recognize the 2018 HPU Women's Basketball National Championship team, as the 2018 HPU Sports Team of the Year. At this time, we're going to call up some of the members of that team here up individually, and we're going to take a group picture, and then I'll say the names of the people that are on the team that are not here as well. Starting off, Tiffany Warner. Kimberly Hoffman, black. This is Kimberly Hoffman. And once you get your black, if you come over this way, we're going to take a group picture. Nakisha Davis. Stacy Blaylock. Hope Hortz. Sarah Jockers. And we're going to go ahead and invite up Chris Kilsmeyer and Lindy Hackett. Not able to attend today was Katie Sarum, Stephanie Brewer, Bianca Hall, Daphne Pippins, Mia Daniels, Elaine Hobbs, and Sarah Feaster.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
I've made it. Folks proud of me. All these years. I know, all these years. She just said she's proud of me. Like, my life's defined.
Our first HPU Sports Alumni Coach of the Year will be presented by HPU head football coach Braxton Harris.
All right, our first HPU Sports Alumni Coach of the Year recipient is Josh Gibson. Josh was a 1997 graduate of Huntsville High School in Huntsville, Texas. Josh Gibson was a 4-year football letter winner for Howard Payne University from 1997 to 2000. A multi-year academic all-conference selection, Josh would play under his father, Vance Gibson, who was the Howard Payne head football coach during his time as Yellow Jacket. After graduating and coaching stints at Plano and Granbury High School, Josh would eventually coach under his father, Vance Gibson, at Frisco High School in Frisco, Texas from 2005 to 2014, where he helped produce some highly successful offensive teams. In 2014, he received his first head coaching position at Pleasant Grove High School in Texarkana, Texas, where he turned around a football program from a 2-26 record over 3 years prior to his arrival into making the playoffs 4 straight seasons and winning a state championship. His 2017 Pleasant Grove team finished the season with the Texas 4A state championship, going undefeated for the first time in the school's history. For his success, he was named the 2017 4A State Coach of the Year. Josh is married to Jennifer, a 2001 graduate of Howard Payne University, and they have 2 children, a daughter Jordan, who's 21, and a son Jackson, who's 12. For this, HPU Sports would like to recognize Josh Gibson as the 2018 Howard Payne University Sports Alumni Coach of the Year. In typical coach fashion, he's coaching right now, and so he was unable to attend. So we want to recognize him and thank him for his contribution to Howard Payne Sports. At this time, we'll bring up Coach Lynn to be able to do the next award. Thank you.
Doug Wren is finishing his 9th season as the head baseball coach at Tyler Junior College. In a short stint at Tyler, Coach Wren has guided his team to the NJCAA World Series 6 out of the last 8 years and has amassed a record of 327 wins and only 126 losses. He is coming off his 4th straight national championship title, 2014, 15, 16, and 17, raising the total to 5 in the program's history. He has been named District C Coach of the Year 6 times. Sorry, lost my place. National Coach of the Tournament 4 times. National Coach of the Year 4 times. And has been a finalist for the Skip Bertman National Coach of the Year award twice. In the 8 years as head coach, Wren has coached 18 All-Americans, 7 ABCA Rawlings Gold Club winners, and 3 National Player of the Years. Prior to his stint at TJC, Wren had other coaching opportunities. After 1 year at Weatherford College and a summer coaching in the Texas Collegiate League with the Weatherford Wranglers, Wren took an assistant job at his alma mater, TJC. He has also coached the Texas-New Mexico All-Star team on 5 separate occasions, led an Athletes in Action international team to Nicaragua, and was an assistant on the NJCAA national team during the summer of 2016. He has recently been named the head coach of Team USA, who will train in Tyler and compete in the summer of 2018. Doug and his wife Amelia reside in Tyler, Texas, with their 15-year-old son Baker and a little one due in June. For this HPU Sports, would like to recognize Doug Wren as the 2018 HPU Sports Alumni Coach of the Year. Coach Andrews and I recently, as recent as yesterday, we saw Doug. He's currently coaching in their district tournament, and Coach Andrews and I had the opportunity to present him his plaque last night in front of his team, his team's players. Really special occasion for him. Hunter, he wanted to express his gratitude for this award and his regret for not being here, but he's currently coaching in the championship game of that tournament that started at 4 o'clock today.
So as you can see, we've had some great ones and some recent great ones. And as this being the first year we did it, we wanted to make sure we honored the ones that have had some really good showings at the past few years. And also husbands of the national championship team, I'd like to throw out a disclaimer there. We used everybody's maiden name, all right, across the board, because it was way easier to track down and make sure we got the spelling right and all that kind of stuff. So just wanted to make sure we're good on that. Our third and final winner for the HPU Sports Alumni Coach of the Year award is Ferrin Douglas. Ferrin Douglas is a Dallas native, a 1990 graduate of Adamson High School in Dallas, Texas, and was a standout and a 4-year letter winner for the Howard Payne University men's basketball team. During his time as a Yellow Jacket, Douglas served as a 3-time team captain, led the team to the TIAA Conference Championship in 1992. Douglas received honors that season for Defensive Player of the Year, was also first-team All-Conference in 1994, and went on to receive his bachelor's degree in exercise sports science in 1995. Douglas started his coaching career in Lancaster as an assistant before taking the varsity assistant position at the prestigious Dallas Lincoln High School. At Lincoln, he helped lead the team to a 40-0 record in a Texas 4A state championship and the USA Today mythical national championship in 2002. He then took his first head coaching position at Dallas Madison High School, leading the team to the playoff appearance for the first time in his first season at the helm. Douglas returned to where he started at Lancaster High School as the head coach in 2008, and this is where he's truly made his mark. Since returning to Lancaster, Douglas has been named the 15 4A Coach of the Year in 2008, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, and 16, as well as the PLIVCA Coach of the Year in 2015 and 2016. After leading his team to the regional finals in 2009 and 2010, Lancaster earned the Texas 5A state titles in 16 and 15, with Douglas being ranked not only just at the state level, but also at the national level, finished ranked 5th in the nation in 2015. Coach Douglas has been married to 18 years to his wife Tamara. The couple have 3 children, their daughter Kendall and their 2 sons Cade and Colin. And at this time, we'd like to ask former HPU men's basketball coach Charles Patillo, and he'll say a word regarding Ferrin during his time.
I didn't know this was going to be a multiple award thing, or I would have butted out. But I can tell you some stories about Ferrin, and I will after the meeting here. When Dr. Newberry offered me the basketball job at Howard Payne, I told my wife, I don't know if I had 30 years in high school, but I don't know if I could coach college. And she said, it's just basketball. And that turned out to be true, but Ferrin and that group that I coached the first couple of years just helped me get through it. Made it a whole lot easier for me. I remember the first year when it came time for Christmas break, I said, you guys, it takes you 6 weeks to get in shape, but you can get out of shape in 3 days. Don't go home and sit down and just watch TV and play video games and eat and get out of shape. I said, you need to get out and run someplace. And they said, where can we run, Coach? I said, well, go to a rec center or get out in your neighborhood and run someplace. And one of them said, well, Coach, we run in our neighborhood, we get arrested or shot. that was a great team, man. We had our sights set on the conference championship from the first day we started playing, and we got there. And the next year we went up to, had the same thing in mind, same goal in mind. We went up to Mississippi College, and they had that guy that was 6'14", and going to the NBA the next year, he kind of put a damper on those plans. In fairness, there's thousands of coaches in the state that never get a chance to go to the state tournament. Thousands of them would like to win it, like you have. I congratulate you on making it. I congratulate you on winning it. And you haven't gained an ounce since you played the entire thing. Congratulations, Wren.
Coach, if you'll stay right here and help me present it. So just one disclaimer. Thank you, Ferrin, for being here. I know you're missing your daughter's prom tonight. Wanted everybody to know that. But he did let me know he needs to wrap it up quick so I can get home before curfew. So for this, HPU Sports would like to recognize Ferrin Douglas as the 2018 HPU Sports Alumni President. So this next award is a little bit of a surprise, and we had to trick the person who did them here tonight. So I hope your speech that you worked on isn't wasted. So the HPU Sports Alumni of the Year Award. At Howard Payne College, a graduate of 1950, he attended HPC after serving in the Navy. A pole vault standout on the HPC track team, which is hard for me to say, get used to. He helped lead the Yellow Jackets to a conference championship in 1948 and 49. While a student, he served as president of the senior class in 1950 and was also involved in the Veterans Club and church volunteer work. A native of Camp Wood, Texas, north of Uvalde, he retired after a 39-year career with Texaco, now Chevron Texaco, in 1990. During his career, he worked in West Texas, New Mexico, Ecuador, and Africa. Since his retirement, he and his wife have been very involved in civic and community events, and they have dedicated numerous hours of service to HPU alumni in the advancement office. Their service has ranged from answering phone calls, assisting with mailings, wrapping gifts, volunteering for homecoming, assisting in the basketball playoffs, helping in the student essentials food pantry. He has also helped the recruitment of students at the Goldway Goat Cook-Off. He was instrumental in establishing the HPU Pass It On Fund to help current HPU students who need immediate and personal financial assistance. Both he and his wife were very involved in the athletic alumni chapter in the HPU Letterman's Club. He has been instrumental in assisting with projects that have impacted the athletic department, such as raising funds to honor each of the HPU Sports Hall of Fame honorees with plaques in the Mamie McCullough Athletic Complex, and also spearheaded the Athletic Endowment Fund. For his long-time services and mostly behind-the-scenes work for HPU, he was awarded the HPU Medal of Service in 1998 and 2014. He was also a homecoming Grand Marshal in 2010. Simply put, Leo Lacey is everything you want a Howard Payne alumni to be, and a dear friend. He's married to Jane, HPU class of, yeah. So they now make their home in Banquet, Texas, and enjoy their time with their family. For this, HPU Sports would like to recognize Leo Lacey as the 2018 HPU Sports Alumni of the Year. Now you're good. Push if you can.
Took a long time to get around to this.
Yeah, I appreciate your friendship and you pushing me to do better and be better at my job. I appreciate it. Just some of our closing thoughts and closing remarks. Amy, thank you so much for being available on short notice to take pictures for us. We appreciate it. If you'd like to purchase any of those pictures, it'll be $112 a piece. I would just like to tell you that are alumni of Howard Payne that you have an athletic department that you can be proud of, an athletic staff that you can be proud of. And we wanted this event to be, in the words of John Wooden, we wanted to be quick, but don't hurry through it, so everybody could enjoy their time. But even more so, we wanted to make it early enough that way you guys could fellowship and be around each other. Because that's the best part of this event, is coming in and you even hate to get it started, seeing everybody fellowship and embrace each other and hug each other for what they're doing. But I just wanted to let you know when after we pray and Abram leads us in the alma mater that our HPU event is over for the evening, but the Brownwood Country Club has invited you to stay for as long as you want and enjoy the back patio and be around each other and fellowship in the lounge or whatever that may be. So we really appreciate you for coming. Thanks for being invested. Thanks for supporting us. And we love each and every one of you. Abram, if you'll close us out.
After we pray, well, again, we'll sing the alma mater. If you do not know the words, which you should, most of you in this room, they are printed in your program at the bottom of the page. Let's pray. Father, I thank you for your many blessings. And I thank you for the blessings you've given this institution. Father, I know that the goal of this institution is to glorify you ultimately in your kingdom. Father, we all learn from the example that we saw in our professors, we saw in each other, the friendships you gave us, and the memories you gave us that will keep with us forever. And those lessons we learned as alumni or connections with other alumni. Father, thank you for leading us and guiding us. We thank you for this time of fellowship. We thank you for this food you provided. And Father, may we go forth this day and just glorify you and to speak of Howard Payne only because it glorifies you. And in your name I pray, Jesus Christ, amen. All right, if you stand with me, we'll sing all the line. Hopefully I can start this in the right key. It should be back behind us this direction. Yeah. Ready? High above, oh those waters, out on centers high, stands our noble alma mater,